the ring. Choose your fighter. Corona Plant.
All right, we are back today with our second match. We have Williamson High this time versus us. We are Grandville High School. Starting with our Piranha Plant player Mason versus Williamson's Pyra Mithra player. So, how much experience do you think our Piranha Plant has fighting Pyra Mithra compared to how much this Pyra Mithra has fighting Piranha Plant?
I mean, considering I actually played Pyramithra against the plant literally yesterday, I think I'm gonna say Piranha Plant has more experience.
Yeah. That's just what happens if you decide to play one of the best characters in the game that are super popular, then everyone's gonna kind of know how to fight your character a little bit. Meanwhile, if you play something like Piranha Plant, not everyone's going to know what to do. And I think that's what we're kind of seeing firsthand in this match.
Yeah, Piranha Plant's a super rare character compared to, like, Pyramithra, Snake, Steve are all super common characters that, like, everyone has played against at least once.
Right. What do you think the Pyramithra needs to do to actually kind of bridge this gap that's been getting wider and wider as we speak?
I think if they could find a different way to approach better than just, pressing a smash attack or a special like that, then I'm sure they could get in much easier.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're going very straightforward. When their character kind of provides a lot of speed and a lot of agility and that kind of like witch-timey down B that they have too. A lot to utilize while our Piranha Plant's kind of throwing out hitboxes and then just waiting for them to just walk in into Plant's loving leaves.
3 stocks.
3 stock is going to be going to Grandville for the first game of this first match here.
That was impressive.
But not quite a full point yet for Grandville. They still have to win this set here. Remember, matches are best 2 out of 3, and the record for those matches in between are displayed right next to the high school's names on the scoreboard there. If anyone is wondering where we might be in the match. Right now, Grandville High is up 1 game in this first match. No points are on the board yet.
I hate to ask, but what's with the blank spot next to the Smash Ball?
It's supposed to be the tournament name, which is what I would like to put this at, so I could put like week 4. But when I type something in here, nothing shows up there. So it's just kind of there for fun.
Okay.
I saw that Mason had switched his character over to Villager, so let me represent that on here. Oh, and then Williamson's players also switching characters to another strong character that can be quite popular. Maybe not as popular in the high school scene, but Joker is a very popular, strong character and has been ever since he came out.
Yeah, he used to be super popular back when he first came out because MK Leo really destroyed everyone with it.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people have fought Jokers and a lot of people have played Joker too.
Yeah, and people have since learned from MK Leo's reign how explosive that character can be with and without his, special mechanic, being Arsene. Arsene is very, very powerful. Arsene can do a lot of damage very quickly and get a lot of kills very early, and that's kind of how a lot of Joker players play. They play to get their Arsene so they can fight. But the Joker players to be really scared of are the ones that will mess you up without even worrying about Arsene before he comes out. The better lead you have when your Arsene comes out is kind of going to tell you how much value you can really get out of it. Because if you have Arsene, your opponent's going to have to play a lot differently. And, well, maybe not a lot differently, but they do have to have a lot more respect for what the Joker can do to them in this case. Now that we don't have Piranha Plant, we have kind of another character, dare I say, similar when it comes to trapping and gaining percent from distance, being Villager here. I've never actually seen this matchup before, but I can only imagine that Joker playing perfectly wins, but perfect is kind of far from what we're looking at here in high school and in an online environment.
Villager is also another just kind of unusual character, still being like a bottom tier in Smash Ultimate.
But not like, if you're losing to a Villager, he definitely doesn't feel like he's bottom tier.
Yeah, he can be like absolutely insane with the right player, but I guess that's kind of the situation with any character.
Yes. So now we're seeing Arsene on the board. The more damage you take and the more damage you can counter as Joker will raise the meter to get Arsene. We got Arsene pretty fast because this Joker almost took an uncontested 100% of damage. Arsene's already out of the picture though, because when Arsene's out, the more Joker gets hit, the quicker Arsene goes away. I think Mason knew that going in to this and decided to keep the aggression even though Arsene came out because he had the percent lead and wasn't too worried about dying.
I suppose maybe the Joker was more used to people being afraid of Arsene, so it must have caught him off guard when...
And many people are. Many people will just try and run away, but the more you hit him, that's kind of actually how you counterplay. People like to say no counterplay a lot, but the counterplay is there. Lloyd Rocket, super dangerous, but Arsene comes out, and I think the animation keeps him from getting that punish there, which is really unfortunate because now he's kind of taking a small percent combo into, more of a disadvantaged state while that Arsene's out on the board, and Arsene's almost on his way out. Actually, he is on his way out because the tree coming down, Kesh is calling timber, and we are in another really big lead for Mason. So far, Mason has not been, I think, pressured enough. So he's very comfortable. As you can tell, he's just kind of going in head first with a character who usually kind of ends up sitting back. Pocketing the Aha and throwing it the opposite direction is how Mason will lose his first stock here.
Joker's still using so many smash attacks when he ever gets on the ground. Kind of interesting because if used correctly, he does have good tilts.
His tilts are almost like, if I were to play Joker, or if I was helping someone playing Joker, I would definitely tell them to utilize those tilts because they're so fast and they can really get a lot of good advantage states for him. Like the down tilt being a very fast slide will pop people up. That being said, we're not going to see any of that for a little bit because Grandville is going to take the first point in this match and go up 1-0, while Williamson is going to be at 0 points, and they are going to have counter pick when it comes to our players. So we have to pick our player first, and they'll see who we play and decide who's going to go in from there.
Choose your fighter.
Pokeblade. Looks like we're gonna have Will step up. Grandville's Samus main here.
I've seen how good Will Samus is firsthand as I've been utterly destroyed.
Still kind of waiting here to see who Williamson's gonna play. What's the other match here? Oh, so they're gonna have their player Gabriel come in. Hero, interesting. So not a very conventional matchup.
Hero's not a bad character, he's just very reliant on RNG.
Yeah, what do you expect to see when it comes to how this match is going to play out?
I think this is going to take forever, just thinking about the matchup. Considering Hero can sit back, just spamming down special, seeing if he can get anything good. And I mean, Samus just loves staying back all the time.
Yeah.
So, but I could be totally wrong.
I would give slight favor to the Samus, I think, bearing in mind that being at the right place at the right time could be extra favorable for Hero. Luck is going to play a little bit of a factor. Samus is a pretty hard character to kill, but it's not hard to kill someone when you can kill them at 20. So we will see how this will go. There's also a lot of the menu I think Samus has to worry about. I think Samus is going to win pretty handily until Hero gets that bounce spell, actually. And then Samus can't really use projectiles because all projectiles get reflected when Hero has bounce equipped to him.
Yeah, bounce would be really, really good for the matchup, but heck, if he can't get to a good spot to use it, then I guess he might not even get bounce.
Yeah, he also I think so far he's kind of taken too much percent for it to matter in this stock. Because if I were Samus and I saw bounce come out, I would simply kind of just charge up all the way and wait for it to go away until I could put them in a situation where they kind of have to deal with my projectiles again.
Samus is getting a pretty good lead here.
Yeah, huge lead even with that charge shot coming out. 90 to 20, and this is only 20% on Samus' very first stock.
All just completely dominating with insane stage control, but I guess, that was a really good prediction. It is to be predicted with Samus just having everything with, I mean, it's projectiles. You can kind of just cover everything at once.
Right. Oh, also seeing that the Hero pulled out the menu and just shot preemptively and got another hit. So in order for Hero to really get into a position where they can put a lot of pressure onto our Samus and win, they have to find the space with their regular moves and get into an advantage state before they can even go for something like a menu spell or charging up a neutral B. I think a lot of players, when they play these more B-move based characters, they get a little stuck in their ways with the B moves, and when the tides are against them, they tend to run away instead of finding ways in with their, more neutral regular moves with the A button. Hero, that being said, has pretty good range, but not the most speed on their moves. The good news is that Hero's opponent is Samus, and Samus can struggle up close versus some swords. So it's, it's a weird matchup. It's very nuanced, and it kind of depends on a lot of different scenarios to happen.
That match was really short, though.
It was really short. It was very quick.
I thought it'd be super long, and it wasn't even 2 minutes.
What do you think our Samus is banning? What do you think our Samus is banning since they went up that game?
Samus, I'd assume you'd want to ban something like Battlefield at that point, right?
Yeah.
Because those platforms, if Hero can just jump onto them, it kind of nullifies charge shot. So having like Final Destination, Kalos, like right there would be really, really good.
looks like we're picking Kalos, actually. Yeah, we're picking Kalos here, so maybe the hero can use those platforms as kind of a safe space to set up their spells and get more equipped to fight the Samus. Because head-on, hero without any kind of help struggled very hard, as we saw in that last match. But maybe hero with an Accelerado or with a Psych Up, that could be a different story.
Getting Accelerate, that could get him in there pretty quickly, so...
Yeah, funny enough, the moment I said it, they need to use their A moves in order to open up time for their B moves. This is exactly what we just saw. Hero runs in, gets a jab combo, and then immediately has time to put on a spell. That being said, Samus saw through a lot of their options when they had scary stuff. I'll get to that in a second, but Samus kind of scared off of a lot of options while the accelerator was out, and ended up having more of a percent lead because of it. What me and Kale just kind of winced at was that big black hole looking spell called the Whack can be a RNG dependent instant kill. And it was, one roll away from hitting, so pretty scary stuff. That could have obliterated Williams stock right there.
Yeah, luckily he did actually, by the look of it, end up B reversing the thwack, so it didn't quite hit him at all, but
yeah,
still scary.
Definitely scary here. And what's also scary is being a whole stock down versus Samus. You have to approach this kind of anti-approach character, and you have to be very creative. That being said, forcing Samus into shield with the Whack, the baby version of the Whack, to then pressure them at the ledge is really, really smart and worked out wonders for Williamson's hero.
Yeah, Samus can be a tough matchup for anyone who doesn't have enough range to counter it. I would know firsthand. And hero does have projectiles, but Samus can just charge hers faster.
Yeah, I would say for every hero projectile, Samus has already shot 2 missiles and maybe a couple charge shots.
I guess it is a little dependent on luck with the projectiles that hero gets, because I mean, he could get like Kamikaze or Hocus Pocus instead of Sizz, for example.
Right. I'd like to see this hero kind of retreat to the platforms every now and then in order to look for a spell. They're kind of just doing it like right there. Oh, they're top decking now too, which is a card game term, but I use it for hero when they just press down B and then hit the first spell they see.
Seems like they might be panicking then.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I was in that situation, I would too.
Because that's definitely panic worthy, because you could get the spell that just kills you. So, scary stuff.
And oomph.
Oh yeah, very scary for the Samus here. If no projectiles, and if they get hit, it's gonna do a lot more knockback than normal. The bounce is gone now, so a little bit of relief on the Samus's end. The hero is one super strong.
Whoa.
Okay. Well, sometimes your opponents just walk into death. But
and immediately kills.
An up throw is going to secure that stock and that game, putting Grandville at 2-0 versus Williamson High.
That was cool to watch.
Yes. Next, Grandville's last player is Jiren. I'm sure you're pretty familiar with that player.
Me? Yeah, I am.
Going up with whoever Williamson has left.
Choose your fighter.
So Jiren plays King Dedede and Pikachu. I wonder who he's planning on starting with this time around. Oh, Isabelle. That was like that's so last season of Jiren.
Yeah,
to play Isabelle here.
He played it a lot like last season compared to this one, because he's mainly switched to DDD and Pikachu as a secondary. But it's fun to see him playing Isabelle every now and then.
Paying homage to the first ace of Grandville High School Smash team.
Yeah. Heck, maybe I gotta start playing Pichu sometime.
Characters we working with here. sometimes these in-between matches can take a long time because not only are you waiting for your opponent to decide what character to play, they have to decide what stage to play, and potentially what they have to do. And you are allotted, like, I believe 3 minutes in between each match. So we are gonna get a Kazuya though, one of the newest characters to this game's roster. Thank you. So Kazuya is very explosive. He's a guest character from the series of Tekken, and he actually plays with a lot of the same moves that he has in the Tekken games. Kazuya has a lot of stuns, a lot of crumbles, and a lot of just super strong attacks that kind of create little cinematic moments. And getting hit by him absolutely hurts. Thankfully, he's not the fastest character in the world. He's not the slowest either, and he doesn't have a ton of range, although his moves aren't very laggy. So he's a little awkward to kind of approach fighting, but as long as you are kind of present throughout the whole game and you are doing your best to, not lose your mental state over getting hits or killed early, then you can beat Kazuya. That being said, here, Isabelle will probably be a decent pick against the Kazuya, being able to kind of ignore a lot of the up-close moves. But we'll see. I've never seen the matchup before, and Kazuya is quite a good character, and Isabelle's not known for being a very good character. Very awkward start for both these players as we have super even percents around 50 here for both. Fishing Rod is going to snuff out the laser beam. I don't know Tekken moves.
Heck if I do.
Like, I know...
There's like electric something.
Electric,
something.
yep, that's the up fist move that stuns.
Yeah. I just remember it
I know
because
that one.
Kazuya's, like a quote-unquote touch of death character. Off one neutral interaction, he could technically kill you with some crazy combo. Just like Ice Climbers, Luigi, all those sorts. So he can just be completely explosive with his damage.
Yes, he gave a lot of respect to the Isabelle on the legend. Ended up backing into a Lloyd Rocket. Probably not the best look since he's on his second stock already, and Jiren is still on his third, or on his first. Okay, Kazuya is enraged now, not to be confused with the in-game mechanic, like having rage. Kazuya has access to kind of slightly stronger versions of some of his moves and some new moves, I believe, as well, while he's in this mode.
Did it disappear, or is it just me?
It did disappear, yeah.
Rather short-lived, huh?
It doesn't last very long. It's just, as soon as he gets to above 100%, he has like 10, 15 seconds of it.
Well, he's certainly above 100% now.
Well, it's when you like get
Yeah,
put over
yeah.
the threshold.
Right.
Not at 100 anymore, at 0. Fresh new stock for Kazuya now. And Isabelle's still healthy, surviving that somehow.
For a character like that to be surviving hits from Kazuya is pretty impressive.
Throne, still no.
Still alive at 169. Kazuya using dash attack, or whatever it was, to run straight into
some
that.
kind of burst move. Oh, I feel so uneducated. I don't know any of Kazuya's moves.
Yeah, he's...
And I don't plan on learning them either. That looks like a side B.
meshes into the same thing.
Yeah, that gives side B energy. That gives neutral B energy. What just happened there? Interesting interaction with that side B and the fishing pole. I know Kazuya has a lot of super armor on a lot of his moves, so I imagine because the fishing pole isn't quite a grab, it's more of a physical hit, even though it looks like a grab. Maybe that caused that weird interaction where he kind of just walked through it.
All he needs is fishing rod. He just...
Yeah. Kind of catching him out of the air. The Kazuya isn't utilizing... Oh, now he's utilizing air dodge and other things, but he's not quite going the right direction.
He understood what to do. He just couldn't do it quite right, I suppose.
Oh, but he's still not respecting this fishing rod at all, and it's going to be a 3-stock flawless game from Gyro giving Grandville
That was like 15 fishing rods in a row, which was...
match point. So this is where this Kazuya player, Williamson High's fate is kind of resting on them for this match. Not only does the Kazuya have to win this next game and the game after that, but then the rest of their players have to win 2 more games without actually losing at all, because Grandville's already up 2-0.
An interesting pick from Jiren.
Who did Jiren go?
Dr. Mario.
Oh, Dr. Mario, that's a new one.
Gee. I actually kind of didn't expect that.
I didn't either. We picked Dr. Mario before we got to see who the Williamson picked, so we'll see.
Oh,
They stick with their Kazuya, though.
Let's see if the Kazuya can do any better against a Doc.
Yeah. So Jiren gets to ban 2 stages here. I'd imagine he bans FD. That's kind of notoriously a Kazuya stage. He doesn't have the best vertical mobility, so any stage that allows him to jump is the least amount possible is really good for him. He gets a lot of easy combos, and it's just not a good time to play an FD versus that character. I'd advise against it.
Well, we'll see what they pick. And
It's a small battlefield.
well, it's not Final Destination, so.
Alright, forward smash is getting thrown out, and dash attacks whiffing. I don't quite know if either of these players have a real idea on how to approach each other at this moment in time. But I think this first stock will be a big tell.
It definitely feels like it's going a lot slower now that it's Doc instead of Isabel.
Yeah, and we're actually seeing a lead coming out of Kazuya. I think this is actually Williamson's first lead of the set. And it's only by percent so far.
Getting a back throw to get him off stage. Whiffing the up and getting killed for it though.
It's relatively healthy Kazuya too, but Dr. Mario can be quite explosive. That being speaking of, great forward smash by Jiren. Gets the full strong hit and destroys that Kazuya stock at about 90. Dr. Mario is not seen as a very good character to the community, mostly because of his big struggle to recover when he's knocked off stage a little bit too far. But outside of that, the only other weakness he kind of has is he doesn't have a lot of range, but he's relatively middling in speed, and he has good combos. So, not the worst character in my eyes, for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure he would be like at least a mid-tier if they had made his recovery a bit better. Which is probably why Mario is so much higher up than Doc.
Yeah, it's hard to justify playing Doc when Mario is on the board, because Mario's a little bit faster, and he might not kill as fast as Dr. Mario does, but he puts himself in positions to be able to kill more often than Dr. Mario does. Jiren playing very, very well right now, though.
Almost getting the kill, but Kazuya uses up B.
Yeah, up B, I think, has some invincibility at the startup for Kazuya, but that down B is going to definitely take it. Not only is it a strong move, it has set knockback that even if that Kazuya was at like 10%, he would have died there. Good work by Grandville, recovering from their loss to Northview and defeating Williamson High 3-0. Alright, thanks everyone for watching. Your commentators were Coach Todd.